journey to Eurosong 2025.
Hello, this is Emmy, and you're listening to the Eurovision podcast.
Hello, everyone. Fáilte Arash. Welcome back to the Eurovision podcast. We are very much still on that jury to Eurosong. Jury. There's no jury here, not yet. We are on the journey to Eurosong 2025, and we are at our next stop, our next interview for the next artist, which we'll come to in a moment. But firstly, Conor, how are you doing?
I'm still loving it. I'm loving the buzz online. I'm loving that people are surprised. And today, a surprise is only one word to describe it, I guess, because who saw this coming?
Can we talk about how, like, last year, because I listened back to our previous Eurosong series recently, and last year I remember we all couldn't get over the hype for like an Irish national final online. And I just want to remind everybody, I just want to cast everybody back to 2023. Like, this is not a normal thing that like we have this hype for. So let's just continue to be happy and excited about that, because I think it's really cool that like international people, Irish people, fans are like so buzzed about our selection. Like we have to just acknowledge that like improvement. It's so cool. And like, even to have an artist like this in our lineup that we're going to be speaking to today is really, really cool, because if you told me that in 2022, I would have been saying, what? That's crazy. So yeah, buzzing.
Mm-hmm.
I hope everyone's been enjoying the releases so far. It's a funny one, actually, obviously, because we've pre-recorded pretty much all of these episodes at this stage for the Journey to Eurosong. As you're listening to this episode, you know, it's the week before, so we don't know what the online reactions and stuff are going to be, or what the artists are going to say on the Ray Darcy show and so on. So make sure you're on all our socials to kind of capture the online reaction of everybody, Irish community all together, and what we're all thinking. But yeah, how are you feeling, Conor?
Yeah, excited. Loving it, and I'm hoping, like you said, like this is all pre-recorded, so I'm hoping you're loving the reactions yourselves. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see until post Eurosong.
We'll probably be doing a few lives.
We'll be everywhere. Like, this is our busy time of the year. It's like as I say, the most wonderful time of the year, and yeah, it's exciting. And you know, like you were mentioning, a really interesting artist once again this year, an artist that you wouldn't expect to crop up in little old Ireland, but she's made her way down, and here she is, and it's Emmy from
Emmy
MGP.
from Norway. Can you believe it?
It's crazy, yeah, with Like a Party.
Yeah, so just to cast everybody's minds back, okay, for people who aren't familiar, I'm sure a lot of you are. Emmy actually is somebody we were already aware of, because she appeared in Melodi Grand Prix, the Norwegian selection, back in 2021. And I have to say, Melodi Grand Prix, I'm not just saying this because this is Emmy's episode, Melodi Grand Prix 2021 is one of my favourite national finals of all time. That was, I don't know what it was that year, what was in the water in Norway. We were all having a bit of a bad time. We were all still stuck at home with COVID a bit back in those early days of 2021. But the spring was coming, and there was light at the end of the tunnel. And for me, that light was the Norwegian selection. There were so many amazing songs. Like, we had Monument from Conor, obviously Tix ended up winning.
BD Bell.
Via Norge, Barndom's got there. I still listen to loads of those songs.
Hero
really was so iconic. And like, I remember they had a second chance show for the songs that didn't make it into the final. I forced my parents to watch it. Shout out, Dad. And oh my God, like, even the second chance songs were all brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I remember thinking like, oh, I'd die for one of these in Eurosong. And Emmy was there in MGP with her song Witchwoods, and now she's here in Eurosong with her song Like a Party. Crazy.
Really, really strange.
TikTok queen as well.
Yeah, like, she's blown up on TikTok over the last few years. But yeah, like MGP 2021, like you were saying, like peak
amazing
national final. I don't think it's been the same since. Like, they haven't matched that level whatsoever. And like you said, I have so many songs still on my playlist from MGP 2021.
What do you think of the winner that year, Tix?
That's what ruined it for me.
Yeah.
That's what ruined it for me. I'm just like,
I'm still bitter about it.
Like, that was probably my last place of that year. Like, oh, you remember that really iconic song? It was like, "My life is okay." It's like really odd.
No,
and he had like the one glove on, and all the like the girls dancing behind him with the glasses.
He
like,
was amazing. I loved the one, and if anybody follows Roy on YouTube, good friend of ours from the Netherlands, Roy and I loved. How did it go again? Bima Meppa gone,
Oh,
Bima
yeah,
Meppa
yeah.
gone, Bima Meppa gone. The farm one, and the girls were like doing flips on the stage. No, MGP 2021 was peak.
Yes.
Brilliant national final. So who would believe it now? And obviously MGP is scaled down a lot this year. So, you know, the Norwegian party is joining the Irish party. The Swedes had Norwegian twins last year, ending up representing them in Eurovision. So we have a lovely Norwegian lady, Emmy, joining us in our lineup, vying for the ticket.
And Eurosong does have a history of having international acts. Like, you remember, was it 2015 we had Erica from Sweden?
I think she was Swedish.
Swedish, and she came second in Eurosong. We had John Lydon, who of course is from the UK but Irish connections, and then we have Emmy from Norway. And like she says in our interview, one of the songwriters is Irish, so like there is an Irish connection. Of course, like Eurovision is so international. Why can't Eurosong be international as well? So welcome Emmy to the party. Like a party.
Like a party.
But yeah, before I guess we chat with Emmy, should we have a little listen to her song, Lou?
We shall.
Eurovision. Ready for takeoff.
You have probably heard about this brave little girl. All we know is that she saved the world. She got sent away, but she wasn't afraid. Though she was alone in the dark big space. Left the cheering crowd, went above the clouds. Rocket going high, then they said goodbye. She still wonders why, but she loves to fly. I hope like I never died, and that she's been surrounded still, and that she has a party in the air and always will. I hope that she is dancing every night among the stars. I hope like is alive, like a party in the sky, like a party in the sky.
Okay, we were fist bumping here in the background. I'm sure you guys were as well. It's a banger. It's a banger.
Yeah, it's definitely a banger. The meaning of the song is very unique. I don't think you'll ever hear anything like this.
Yeah, we're going to get into it with Emmy.
Yeah, it's different.
It is.
Sure.
It is. I can't wait to see the staging on this one. We'll talk about it more later though. Oh, I'm so excited. There's something to get stuck in. Yeah, I mean, really good of Emmy to join us, of course. It was really cool to chat to her. We've got to chat like about her background. There's some interesting like junior MGP stuff, obviously her MGP experience. And yeah, I think without further ado, Conor, we should get stuck into our interview with Emmy.
Eurovision.
Yay!
Emmy, welcome to the Eurovision podcast. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. How are you guys?
Congratulations. Yeah, we're great. Thanks. We're very excited to speak to you. Congratulations on making it to the Eurosong 6.
Thank you so much.
Looking forward to coming over?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
We have a lot to talk to you about because a lot of Eurovision fans will remember you, firstly, because you competed in Melodi Grand Prix back in 2021. So I guess there's so much to talk about. Where do we even start, Lou? Like, I guess.
Well, why don't you set the scene for us, Emmy? We know, of course, you're from Norway and you come from a very musical background. Why don't you tell your new Irish friends about yourself and how you've come to be where you are today making music?
Yeah. Well, I'm Emmy. I'm from Norway, as you said. And I've been singing since I was like a very small child. And as you said, I come from a family that loves music. So
music has always kind of been there. And I've always done like school, but I've waited for now, because now I can be a full-time musician. And yeah, it's so like just living the dream, and I'm so thankful because I know it won't last forever. So I'm just so grateful and thankful that I get to do music.
And for people that don't know your music, what style of music would you say you do and produce?
Lately it has been a lot of like EDM and techno music actually, but I have done a lot of different stuff, and I guess that has to do with me being extremely bad at choosing, like in general in life. But yeah, so I do a lot of different styles, but yeah, lately a lot of EDM and techno covers actually.
You just like music so much. You like a bit of everything. That's a good way to be.
Too hard to choose one.
I feel that. I mean, same. We know, am I right in thinking, correct me if I'm wrong, am I right in thinking that you took part in the children's version of Melodi Grand Prix in Norway before you graduated to the adult version?
Yeah, that's correct. I did back in 2015. So I was 15 when I participated, and I would say that was kind of the start of the public career, kinda. So that was so exciting. It was a dream coming true. My brother had actually been a part of that show before me, and he was like my idol. So it was so cool to like be a part of it after he was.
That is deadly. Never knew that. Fun little fact for you guys. And then you obviously, like we said earlier, you can appear on MGP back in 2021, and that was kind of in the height of COVID as well. So what was that experience like?
Actually, when I think back at it, I don't remember like COVID as a big part of it at all. I just like remember the MGP and the magical experience. And yeah, it wasn't like an audience or anything, but you know, the cameras are there and I focus on them anyway. So yeah, I didn't feel like it ruined anything of that experience. Of course, it ruined so much else for the world, but yeah, it was still like a magical experience that I'm so grateful for.
And when you took part, Emmy, I remember your song, which was being so popular online, and you just soared out of that semi-final, no trouble to you, into the Melodi Grand Prix final, and you gained so many fans and you had so much love from that song. How did you find that hype around Witchwoods?
Oh, it was so like, I'm so grateful that people actually liked the song, because it was kind of unique and special. I can say that because I didn't write it. so yeah, it was an honor to sing it, but I was like nervous about how people would feel about it because it's so special, you know. But I was so excited, and I was so like grateful and surprised that I actually got to the finals. That was, I'm so grateful. Yay.
Before we hit Eurosong, of course, what have you been up to since MGP then? What would people have seen you online doing?
Well, after MGP, like a couple of months after, I started doing a lot of TikToks. And so suddenly a TikTok of me covering a song, just like a 15 seconds long TikTok or something, went viral. And then I started posting more of those videos. And then, it kind of grew on TikTok. And since then, I've basically been a TikToker, if you could say it like that. So yeah, mostly TikTok and writing music and singing. So yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. I love, like, we found out so much about you so far, like, from this chat, and we still haven't even touched on Ireland, which is so much fun, Emmy. But we do have to talk about Eurosong, of course.
Yeah.
And we have so many things to ask you. I suppose where I would like to start is where a lot of Irish people and Irish fans of you and of Eurovision and MGP would love to ask, Emmy, why Eurosong? Why Ireland? We're the land of, we call it Céad Míle Fáilte, 100 million welcomes. So everybody is welcome. We're so happy to have people from other countries. But what made you want to apply to represent Ireland?
It was actually like we wrote the song at a songwriting camp in Norway, but it was like a camp for Eurovision, and we did have a songwriter from Ireland coming to that camp. So the short answer is there is a Irish songwriter on the song. So then we felt like, okay, this song is like Norwegian and it's Irish. So it was natural kind of to apply for Eurosong, and I'm so glad we did.
Yeah.
I know it turned out great because you're in the final 6. So I guess before we go any further, introduce the song then. What's the title? What's it about? How did you come about writing this up-tempo banger, I guess?
Yeah, oh, thank you for calling it that. Well, it's called Laika Party, and it is about the dog Laika that was sent out in space all alone. And yeah, I just, like, we did this quiz. I often do a quiz with my family, and one of the questions was about Laika. And then I just started thinking about her and how sad her story is. And I'm like, got sent out there, and yeah, and I just didn't want it to be true. So I just wanted to write a song about her not dying, but rather living on and having her own party in the sky. Yeah, that's basically it. So it is a tribute to Laika.
I love it so much. We were only talking about your song yesterday, Emmy, and I was saying to Conor, when I first heard the song, I really, really liked it. And then I was curious about the title and I looked it up. And when I pieced it together and discovered that it was about this story of the dog in space, like it made the song go from a 10 out of 10 to an 11. I just thought, a space dog. We have never had a song in Eurovision about a space dog, and I don't know if we ever would again. So props to you for just, turning a sad story into something so fun and so cheerful and bright and happy. We love it. We really, really love it.
So much. That means a lot to hear. And as my brother said, it's the saddest happy song we've ever written.
Yeah. There's such a juxtaposition between the meaning and what you're hearing, because like you said, it is such a sad story, but then you can't help like banging your head and going to a rave, partying for Laika,
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you guys like it. That means a lot.
You were saying you were attending a songwriting camp. So what was that experience like? And to get to Laika Party, did it take a long time or was it a quick process?
Oh, it was so much fun at the camp. And actually, I was only a songwriter the 2 first days, but then the third and last day, I was the artist, and I had this idea. I had the idea about writing a tribute for Laika. I really, really wanted to do that, and then I brought the idea to this session, and the group liked it, and so we worked on that song, and I'm so glad they liked the idea and that we got to work on it.
And Emmy, you are obviously a very creative person. You make TikToks, you make music. What can you give us any clues, visuals? What are you thinking?
Oh, and thank you, first of all. But I am thinking a style that's fitting of the genre and the theme. Like maybe some astronaut colors, maybe some space, sky, just like really into the theme and genre. A mix of that maybe. But yeah, it will be exciting to see and to develop it.
And of course, our national final is very different to Melody Grand Prix. It is chalk and cheese. It is tiny, studio, very different, no big lights. You're very basics. Have you looked at Eurosong, previous Eurosongs, and had to study in a way really hard to make sure you get your vision right? Because I feel like Melody Grand Prix, you have so many tools at your disposal, whereas with Eurosong, you've very limited resources. So you need to make sure like everything's perfect. Has that been in your thought process since?
It has. I have been watching a couple of performances from past years. But as you said, I was in the MGP when there was no audience. So I guess the room and kind of few people is similar. But yeah, the process definitely is different. But it's so cool to see like how they do it in Norway and how they do it here. And yeah, I learned so much from it. So it's really, really cool to see.
Have you been to Ireland before, Emmy?
No. I'm kind of embarrassed. I should have been. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, what an iconic first way to visit Ireland, to enter Eurosong. That is so cool. It's so cool.
Coming here with a bang.
I would agree.
Do you have any Irish Eurovision entries that you like?
Oh, yes. I do. I am a big fan of the Jedwards.
Yeah. They're like Marcus and Martinez from Norway.
That's true. That's true.
Just not as good singers.
Well, yeah, I started watching Eurovision in like 2008, I think. So they were like, a couple of years after that. So they're some of the first memories I have with Eurovision, and I love their songs and performances, and they are so iconic.
And do you have a favorite Norwegian entry? Just while we're talking about Eurovision.
Oh, like all time?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so many good ones.
Oh, wow. A tricky question. I really like this song called Yes Man, but that's from the MGP. It didn't, it wasn't in Eurovision. Oh no, that's such a tricky question. I do, of course, love Fairy Tale. And the song that the Irish, the Norway won with, I wasn't alive then, but the
Secret
Irish
Garden.
Singer. Yeah,
Nocturne. Yeah,
that's a magical song.
That's a great answer, Emmy. You have to pull that out anytime you're asked, because it's Irish and it's Norwegian. I love that.
Yeah, it's such a magical song.
Yeah, it really is.
And you were talking earlier about seeing the process in Norway and then comparing it to Ireland. So far, is there any differences you've noticed that you can share with us?
Interesting question. Well, I see that like in Norway, we could definitely come with ideas and stuff like that. But in Ireland, it's maybe even more kind of questions from me about what I want on stage. Even though it was like that in Norway too, but maybe even more in Ireland. So yeah, that's
interesting.
Cool.
So more of a creative input from yourselves as opposed to the production team.
Yeah, even more. Even though it was a lot in Norway too, we got to say so much there too.
Interesting. A cute little thing to know.
Yeah. So what's the plan now, Emmy? You're in the final 6 for Eurosong. You're competing to represent Ireland. When are you heading over? How is it going to be? How are you feeling? Tell us everything.
Oh, I'm very, very excited. The thing is, it doesn't really feel real. So that's scary. But Yeah, it's just a lot of practicing because I know this will probably be one of the hardest like performances I've ever done. Um, because of the song, and it's a dance song, so I have to move a lot more on stage than I probably did in Norway. Um, and I'm coming down at the 2nd of February and spending about a week in Ireland to do some filming, and yeah, just to be there. And I'm so excited to see the country, and yeah, I'm so excited.
And I guess to kind of wrap it up shortly, but what would it mean to you to represent Ireland? And I guess a bigger question, what would it mean to you to get to go to the Eurovision Song Contest? Because you tried before. How would you feel about finally getting on that big stage?
I think that would be insane. Like so crazy cool. It's been this childhood dream of mine since I was a little girl, and I've like I am a Eurovision fan. So to be in the show, it's kind of unreal for me because yeah, I'm such a big fan of it. So I'm used to seeing it on TV, and to just standing in MGP and Eurosong, that's so big. So if yeah, if Eurovision were to happen, I don't know if I even would like understand that it was happening. But it would be so unbelievably cool.
We're so excited to hopefully meet you, and we're so excited to see your performance and the release of the song. Before you come over, I hope you practice or look into a few things. Practice waving your Irish flag and get ready to maybe try some Guinness when you're here. And yeah, just be ready to spread the word of Laika the dog.
Your
because
official
I'm
tour
obsessed.
guide here if you're looking for anyone.
Yeah, pub crawl.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
And Emmy, before we let you go, we'll give you the stage, I guess. And here's your pitch to the Irish fans and the Irish public listening and watching. Why should you represent Ireland at Eurovision 2025?
Well, first of all, I only think I should represent you guys if you like this song. But also, the Irish songwriter that's on it, she said something very, very beautiful. She said that you guys would probably get the message of the song and like the importance of the theme. Get that it's a sad story, and yeah, get that it's a tribute, and yeah, and it is Eurovision Song Contest. It's not Eurovision Singer Contest, and the song is Irish because we have an Irish songwriter on it. So don't worry about that. I hope you won't worry about that. I would be so happy to represent you guys. You are like the king of Eurovision with the most wins. We don't have to mention Sweden right now.
We'll forget about that.
Sure, the Norwegian twins last year in Sweden. Why can't we have a Norwegian here in Ireland?
Thank you.
Well, Emmy, where can people find you if they want to keep in touch with you in the build up to Eurosong?
Yeah. Well, I'm called Emmy on Spotify, and on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, I'm called Emmy KGK00. Maybe I should change that to something easier, but that's it for now.
Emmy, thank you so much for your time, Tack, and good luck. And we're really looking forward to seeing you in Ireland.
Best of luck.
Oh, thank you so much, guys. And I love that you said "tuck" in Norwegian. Thank you so much for having me, guys. It was so much fun to meet you.
And there we have it. That was our chat with Emmy. She, of course, is singing the song Like a Party in Eurosong 2025. Lou, what did you make of that little chat with Emmy from Norway?
She's so sweet. She's such a lovely woman. Just really sweet. She seems really excited. She obviously loves her song, which is very important. I love the theme of the song. Obviously, we spoke about that with her a bit. And yeah, she's just a real sweetheart. Loves her TikTok. I liked how she said toward the end that she would love to represent us, but only if we like the song. You know, she obviously feels, you know, there's an Irish connection to this song. It deserves to be there. And, you know, she recognizes that like the best song has to win. And I think that's a good thing for her to have, you know, her head on her shoulders, because she's obviously going to put great effort into this performance. She knows, you know, Eurosong, it's a competitive field now. You know, once upon a time entering Eurosong, if you were half decent, you were in with the shout. Like, not anymore. I think all 6 of these artists are going to have to work very, very, very hard to make themselves stand out and do well. And I think Emmy sees that. She doesn't take it lightly. She knows that the Irish, you know, we love our music. We care about Eurovision. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what she's going to do on the 7th of Feb. How are you feeling about that, Jack Connor?
Yeah, it's different. It's something that is very wacky for Eurosong, like the meaning of the song. But I think once it's explained to people, it is actually a very sweet message behind the song. Turning a sad story into a bop of a song. There's a nice like juxtaposition between the two, which I really really like. The song itself, yeah, it's catchy. I think it's going to either sink or swim with that Eurosong stage, though.
Yeah.
That's my only concern with it, because we know it's such a small space. I think if Emmy was on like an MGP style stage or a Melody Festivalen stage, or to be honest, any other stage in one of the big national finals, it probably would do quite well. With this, I think she's going to have to be really, really careful what she does, because we've seen it so many times. But this goes to all the songs. A lot of the stagings that we've seen, we've loved the songs, but the staging either overdone or it's underdone.
Yeah.
That balance is so key. And I always say it, often the challenge for artists competing in Eurosong, it's not what they will do if they get to Eurovision, it's what they'll do in Eurosong,
Yeah.
because so important to get that right, because you're not getting many camera angles, you're not getting a lot of space. So you
Mhm.
have to be on your A game with this. So I will be very interested to see what she does in Eurosong. She was teasing us a bit there with what she was saying. Yeah, and I think an interesting thing that she said there, just to finish, was that when we were asking her the comparison between Melodi Grand Prix and Eurosong, that with Eurosong she's nearly given so much creative control as
Mm.
versus MGP, where it's kind of people coming to you with ideas. So it's an
Releasing.
interesting little insight into Eurosong. But yeah, it will really have to show up. She'll really have to show up with her creative instincts for this one to get it right.
It's funny what you were saying there. Like, I totally agree that the staging could be an obstacle, I suppose, to overcome in order for the song to do well. I mean, we're pre-recording this, but of the songs I believe that will be released by this stage, I think they all face quite a similar problem. So it's interesting. Eurosong 2025 could potentially be like the race of who can crack that staging, who can get their song to pop well on that small, slightly hindered, not as like, you know, tech specky, impressive stage. And like Bambi clearly won that last year,
Yeah.
you know, and won the crowd over. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who can manage that. I have another question for you.
Ooh.
Do you think Laika's having a party in the sky?
I had such a like bad answer of like she's dead, but like
No.
fair. Yeah, look,
Sorry.
it's a lovely message and thought.
Can we address for the YouTube viewers?
Uh-oh.
Because okay, the day we recorded this interview, I get really bad hay fever, lads.
Oh
right?
yes.
I get really bad hay fever. And on top of that, on top of that, stop it. He's already laughing at me. I'd been to the hairdressers. So like there was chemicals about the head.
No, sorry. Lou cried about Laika the dog.
Excuse me. I was building up to that.
Yeah.
I was building up to that.
No, because she's going around the story now.
No, I had hay fever that day. The tear ducts were open, right? And I was trying to ask Emmy about the dead dog, and the tears started flowing, and I could feel out of the corner of my eye that Conor was eyeballing me. If you go back, I don't know what timestamp is, you'll probably see the moment. There were tears streaming down my face. I didn't want to put Emmy off, so I didn't want to be there wiping face, didn't have tissue on hand. It was dreadful. I also didn't want to stop because there was a bit of a lag on the call and I didn't want to put her off what she was saying. She was so good to give us her time.
I'm crying.
I was not quite crying about the dog. It actually was hay
But in
fever.
my mind, I'm like, don't tell me Lou's crying about the fucking
It is
dog.
something I would do.
Oh,
and
it's very funny.
I do feel emotional about the dog, to be honest. I do feel emotional about the
Like a dog in 1946 she's never met. Like,
yeah, but she really took one for the team. She took one for
I
humanity
don't
going
think
up
she
in
had
that
much
rocket.
choice. Like, she hardly was telling them, no, I don't want to go.
But she couldn't. That's what makes it sad. And that's why we hope she's having a party up in the sky.
Or she could have been like, yes, it's my dream to go to space.
Yeah, but then she died. So she didn't get to like relish in the dream.
Yeah, but I take one team.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? Maybe that's the
Where
feeling.
did she go? Did she go to the moon? She orbited
No, she
the moon.
orbited the Earth.
The Earth or the moon?
And she died of hypothermia. This is the dog, by the way, that the song's about. In
Not
case
Emmy.
Laika. So there's obviously like a play on words there with the song. Laika is the name of the dog, and then it's like a party in the sky. So like a party, like a party. Yeah. I love it. Like, I think I told you this before we recorded. I liked the song a lot. I thought it was boppy. I thought it was fun. And I was driving in the car one day, and then like this realization just dropped of like, oh my god, this is about the dog, the Soviet dog that died of hypothermia.
I'm surprised you weren't in the shower because that's where you
I
usually
usually
have
have
most
my
of your,
hair.
like,
Yeah, it was a car
different
thought
iffy
today.
moments.
I was not driving it on my phone. Somebody in the passenger seat Googled that for me. But yeah, it just like kind of amplified the song for me then, because I was like, oh, it's so sweet to dedicate the song to that dog. How many people like actually devote time and sit and think about Laika?
Not many.
More people should be thinking about Laika, the dog. She took one for the team, lads. I'm telling you.
Fair.
Connor's like, I don't
I'm
care.
just like, I'm not really a dog person, so I guess like,
You don't like cats, though, do you?
oh no,
No.
my
Okay,
God,
that's okay.
Get them
I'll forget it.
away.
Get away, yeah. Are you
you
an
know,
animal person then?
Not really, to be honest.
Okay.
Actually, no. I have a lot of time for my cousins' two dogs because they are
Okay.
lovely in America. They were
Mm.
like, they loved me as well, and have so much time for them. It's the picking up the crap shit that I can't be dealing with. Anyway, off topic. But
let us know what you think about dogs below.
Funny enough, actually, a cat will eat you if you died. A dog wouldn't. It'd sit and mind you.
God, that's very grim.
There
Connor.
you go. So why would you like look after a cat? You just go out. And
No, I'm
roam.
definitely a dog person, in fairness. And I'd like a goat.
I fucking what?
And a rabbit. Not together, but like at some point.
Imagine a goat and a rabbit.
Just baby goats are so
A rabbit.
cute. They're so. I bet you Emmy likes baby goats. She's a cutesy girl. I
You
bet
can
she
ask
does.
her now on the press day.
I will. I'll ask her.
How are you, Emmy? Do you like?
What's her
goat?
favorite animal? What's her star sign?
That
Just
comes up throughout
random
the week, those star
questions.
signs.
It
came up, yeah.
does.
Came up.
Gosh.
Teasing. It probably
What
came
does
up
not-
at this point. I don't know. We've
Yeah.
lost track of what
What
bloody
does
day it
not
is.
come up in the Journey to Eurosong, to be
Oh,
honest?
my
And here we
God.
still are rabbiting on.
Eh.
If you're looking to get the kind of more instant reactions or see what the Irish community are thinking, get to our socials. We're going to be doing lives throughout the week. We're going to be putting up stories, question boxes, you name it. We're dying to know what like all of you think of the songs vying to represent our country, whether you're from Ireland or abroad. We'd love to hear, because the international opinion is just as important, especially knowing we've an international jury voting in Eurosong 2025. But yes, that's our next stop done for today. We've chatted with Emmy. We've heard about her song Like a Party. We've more to look forward to in the week, don't we, Conor?
We do. We really do. And like Lou was saying, like social medias are hopping off the charts this week. We have so much content on our TikTok and everything like that. But most importantly, if you guys would like to support what we're doing, because of course this is not our jobs, we're doing this fully for the love of Eurovision and the love of Eurosong. We would really appreciate it if you visit our Buy Me a Coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Eurovision. The link is also in our link tree as well, if you find that easier. Please head over there, donate a coffee or two if you can. It helps us do things like this, our brand new setup for 2025, continue to improve it and our equipment and stuff like that. And yeah, help improve Eurovision. We'd really, really appreciate it. But yeah, do our socials then as well. Like, what's the story on that?
You can find us at Eurovision Podcast everywhere, here on YouTube if you're watching, or here on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Guys, don't forget the episodes are basically fully on YouTube now with this little studio setup, so you can see our facial expressions, laughing, me like punching Connor's arm, etc. It's good crack.
It's
Eurovision.
hurting me.
No. I'll give you a little rub. Connor's like, get off
If you're
me.
listening to this, you're probably what the hell?
Connor's like, get off me. Yes, Eurovision podcast on those places, as I said. TikTok if you're not American. Insta.
Oh, the shade. Oh my God. Poor
They're
old
gone.
America.
They're gone. Everyone's gossiping about them now. But yes, TikTok, Instagram, Eurovision podcast, Blue Sky we're on. We're technically on Facebook as well. Eurovision Pod on X, formerly known as Twitter. Send us a message, comment on our post, send us a voice message. Let us know how you're feeling about Eurosong 2025. We are dying to know. We can all talk about it now. The cats are out of all of the bags. Don't forget as well, if you like what we do, to give us a review wherever you listen. Give us 5 stars, please, or give us a thumbs up on YouTube and subscribe. And recommend us to your Eurovision loving friends, or if you know someone who simply just wants to know more about Eurosong 2025, send them our way.
Yeah, and like we said, another stop on the journey to Eurosong done and dusted for this week. Again, more announcements are incoming, so keep an eye on all those socials, as Lou said. But for the moment, all we gotta say is
Slán go fóill!